Hello, welcome to the Fantastic channel. I'm Dr. Joel. Today we're looking and fixing at a vintage deerfoot lamp made out of the feet of a white-tailed deer. We purchased this at the Goodwill bins store where they bring in a lot of merchandise and put it in bins. You pay by the pound, so we purchased about 6 or 7 items and it cost about $14. So this lamp probably cost a few dollars tops. I have not tested it. It is missing the top metal part of the lamp holder. Otherwise, we can walk around it and look at it. It's in pretty good condition. These are obviously, if you're not familiar, taxidermied feet from a deer. Makes a great addition from the sales we had before to a hunter's man cave or a lodge kind of style decor. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is look at the cord and make sure that the cord has no cuts or rips in it exposing bare wire. This is really important in general, but especially with vintage lamps. The other thing I try to do with lamps that may be vintage is bend the cord in order to see how flexible it is. If it's very brittle and starts to crack, you really know you want to replace the cord. This is a molded plug. Everything looks pretty good in terms of its ability to take electricity. Next thing I want to try to do is to take a top and put it over here. I'm going to make sure I have a cardboard insert. That way when I put this over, and push down on it, I can ensure that all of these the right start would be to get the right size. Now with the right size, I can slide that down over there, slide this one on top. I don't need to actually connect this. I put a bulb in it and I test to see that the switch actually works. So now we have a functioning switch, a functioning cord, and we just need to fix the actual metal lamp holder in order to get this back working. The other thing we have is we have a shaky and that probably goes down to being tightened down here like this, which we'll work on when we fix this part. So I'm going to loosen this screw on the bottom of the lamp holder. I'm going to take off this. I've unplugged my cord so there's no electricity running to it. And now I'm going to take off the actual switch. Lamp holder. Set that aside. By undoing this, loosening this, this should turn on the rod. It's down here. And I can turn this either by hand and take it off. So I've laid out the parts. Here's the lampshade harp and its base, which has to get screwed onto which gets attached to the rod. Here is the old bottom of the lamp holder. That one's all beat up, so we're gonna throw that out. Here's the switch, which we know works. And here's a new lamp holder covering, which I had from my stash, but you could purchase that from Amazon or from any other place if you wanted to. You notice that this is a switch that goes left and right. And so you need to get a holder that has two sides in it and you can push from left to right. Some switches, of course, turn on by turning. And there you want to get a lamp holder that only just has one hole and no hole in the back. I took this rod out. You normally wouldn't take the rod out, but it's too long. It sticks out way too far on the bottom, and I'm going to cut part of that off with a pipe cutter. Like I mentioned, this sticks way too far out of the bottom. I'm going to actually throw it into a pipe cutter. I know that the bottom is here. I've left a little bit of extra room on the top. Just going to throw it onto here. Move this about 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each time I turn it, I tighten it a little bit. That sinks the cutter down farther into the kerf. And off comes the extra piece. Take this and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to roughly end up where I was before. Okay, now I've reassembled the rod together. I cut off the bottom of the rod. Remember, it's stuck down to here, but I cut it off here. The other nice thing about that is that you can now get pliers on top of it and tighten it while you hold this. That will tighten the whole assembly. Remember, you want to put your harp holder underneath your bottom of your lamp holder. And now it's ready to reassemble. So the first thing I want to do is take my cord and reinsert it up the rod so that it comes out the top. The rod is a fairly large rod, a normal size rod for a lamp, which a normal lamp cord will fit pretty easily. Some old vintage lamps, you have some old thinner tubing, and it's really challenging. Sometimes you need to put a wire in. And the next thing you want to do is something called a underwriter's loop. This will help the cord from being pulled off of the switch in case anyone pulls the cord or there's pressure. You can look this up online, but you want to make a loop and then another loop and bring the one loop in the back and the one loop in the front. and that will make a knot that looks like that, and that will allow you to not pull that down and pull it off of the lamp. Of course, that wrecks the lamp if that happens. The other thing obviously it does if it's plugged in is it probably shorts out the light because one of these end up touching. Now I'm going to reassemble this. This plug is a vintage plug. It's a molded plug. It does not have a polarized plug. Actually, it does. I lie. Sorry. So when you look at the cord, you see one side of the cord is smooth, and one side of the cord has bumps in it. It's rough. It's got some ridges. The smooth side is the hot, right? That's the side that carries the electricity. And the bumpy side is the side you want to connect to the side that doesn't carry the electricity. So in a typical switch like this, your brass gets your electricity and your silver colored gets the other wire. So we want to follow the smooth side. The smooth side comes up here, comes to here. So this is the smooth. We can look around and see that it's smooth. And we want to connect that to the side that has the brass. If they're both brass, then you're going to need to look for some type of sign that indicates it's positive. We'll connect the side that has the ridges, the bumpy side. To the aluminum or the silver colored side, which indicates it's not the hot cord. Okay, we have our underwriter's wire, or knot. We have good connections. I'm going to pull this down near the bottom. Remember, our harp is going here, so we don't want our switches to go right against it because it's going to be hard. So I probably want to turn it this way so the switch goes on and off outside of the harp. We want to take the top of our lamp holder, make sure it's got the cardboard on the inside. That's what's going to insulate the wires from touching the metal sides. I'm just going to bend that a bit so it does not interfere. Position that. And then firmly snap that in. Okay. Now we can put the harp back for the shade. And it fits in on either side, snaps in, pops down. We can plug the lamp in. Make certain there's no spark and no clicking of your breakers. We can put in our lamp is already on. We can test that it works. And now our lamp is ready to go and ready to sell. Thanks for watching.